Hey, welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Note that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. And also know if you're new to my channel, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box. And now I like to go deep into my readings so we don't just look at what goes on the surface. I like to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes within your experience, gives you an opportunity to see your situation from a different perception. And that a lot of times is healing. And just in seeing a different perception, because then we're not taking things personally. And that's really important when you're dealing with a soulmate twin flame that triggers you, or any type of soulmate, which is someone that comes into your life and changes it somehow by creating a new awareness, even if it's small awareness. So it's really important to realize that you're only having a relationship with yourself and the universe. Everyone's a reflection of yourself. So again, when I say that, it means again, you're attracting what you need, not who you are. It's what you need. And ironically, it needs you too. That's what soulmates are when we're talking about the vibrational residency, when it's, again, you're an equal vibration. And so you might be like, I'm not an asshole. That person's an asshole. That person is a narcissist. That person is triggering that person, but I'm not that way. Well, imbalance goes to imbalance. There's only two energies, love and fear. So you may be imbalanced in some areas of your life, and this person is in other areas of life, but it equals out. So ironically, a lot of times you grow up in the same environment that is what creates the wounds for both of you. You just learned how to process and deal with the trauma differently. All right, so now if you're new to my channel, know that the first card that I pull from the deck is the underlining energy to your video. It's what's influencing everybody to do what they're doing. It's helpful. If you don't understand, just follow along. And by the way, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you have to write this word, again, the card in the video, in your comment bar. If I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath, if I did, we'll correspond a little bit back and forth on YouTube. And inevitably, I'll wind up emailing. We'll wind up emailing each other. So this way you get the link. All right. The email address is always in the comment bar, along with all the other important information. But I'll give it to you here. Just reach out to me at pureenergyhealer70@gmail.com. All right. And you'll know if I chose you if I wrote the word winner underneath. And the word of the video is pride. Pride. You're going to write that word in your comment bar. I feel like everybody has pride. Everyone should have a good sense of pride. I feel like you're connected to someone that is very prideful, overly prideful. And that's because they're coming from a place of imbalance. They don't like where they are in life. So they're not liking who they are in life. And I feel like because they don't like who they are in life, they can't really accept love into their life. They have a hard time accepting people to love them, to allow love into their life to begin with. They're not comfortable with feelings. They're not comfortable in, having to communicate their feelings. I feel like this person gets triggered really easily, and it's because they come from a place of lack. And though they do have a lot of feelings for you, again, their pride takes over. So they can do things to trigger you, to hurt you, and know that, and then have a difficult time in apologizing. I feel like that your person has a lot of shame. Now, I don't know why I'm channeling this energy. We're going to pull some cards to see why. And that's the underlying energy. And we're going to start by looking at the hidden truths. I mean, pride, like I said, that could be a good thing. I feel like you're prideful, like where you're like, I have pride a healthy amount of pride, because I'm not going to talk to you or apologize to you or dummy down for you because you got triggered and you projected your shit onto me. And now you don't want to apologize because that would make you feel weak or beneath me. But you're being overly prideful, where I'm not being overly prideful. I just won't dummy down. Like you're in a healthy amount of pride. But I feel like your person's not used to that. They're used to, again, dumbing down. And so going for, easy hanging fruit per se, like easy people that they could pursue, people that didn't feel good about themselves. I wish I could share my good news with you. They can. They're changing. They're changing. They've reflected a lot on you and them since the time has gone by. Trust me. Feel like they have nothing but time on their hands. I want you. It's again, and what makes a person really change, right, is the fire, the passion. So I do believe again that this is a soulmate relationship. I actually even think that is a past life karmic mate. And if they evolve into their divine being, they could even be a twin flame. That's really what I feel. Because fire, the element of fire, is what transmutes those spiritual blocks. It's what makes us, do different things, be different. The timing just wasn't right for us. I feel like a person just doesn't know what they want. They're so in their ego all the time. They're always trying to control the relationship to the point that, again, the timing, meaning like control the relationship, like it always has to be the perfect time. It always has to be the perfect moment. They have to have the perfect amount of money. They have to, and then what they realize is there is no perfect. That's because they feel inadequate. And because they feel inadequate, they continually find reasons to delay, to come towards you, to actually lay down their pride because they want to. But it's like I feel like this person looks for things. I lost myself for a little while. I feel like overthinking to the point of, overstimulation, and it doesn't feel good to get overstimulated. So I feel like this person suppressed their emotions because they've really never dealt with their emotions. This is, again, their pride is the wall that goes up. That's like, I'm not gonna look at anything else. I'm correct. I'm right. It's like, so I'm not going to see how I treated you. I'm not going to put myself in your shoes. However, love and passion makes a person change, right? It makes people say, well, you know what? Maybe I'll look a little bit. Maybe I'll, and how this person looked a little bit is they found an excuse. The timing just wasn't right. No, that's not, again, but this is all unconscious. They're not even aware that they get in their own way. I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson because they're like, I still have feelings for you and I can still feel in you. It's again, and so I couldn't have possibly fucked this one up. It's almost the energy because it's like, I can't control love. Well, it really is a thing. I feel like this person doesn't love themselves, so they don't never even allow anybody else to get close to them, for them to really allow love into their life, not accepting love, but because they didn't really believe that they're worthy of love. And here it is that what they see is they're not in control of love. That's a divine thing. It's a divine connection that the universe brings everything that you need, including your soulmate, including your twin flame, including a past life karmic mate, all to teach you, to heal you. And but I felt like this was a positive thing. That's why I felt like it was a past life karmic mate ready to evolve into that soulmate twin flame, ready to step into their divine being, whether that's masculine or feminine, you take it as it resonates. we will be together again. Yeah, because they're going to lay down their pride. Is what does that mean that they know how to do it? No, they don't know how to do it. It's again, that's they have to overcome the fear. But what happens is fear is the catalyst that makes people move, is that makes people change. So I feel like the fact that you were like, I'm not going to come back. I'm not going to come back to you. It's like because you want to be prideful. It's like you were wrong. It's like I'm not going to say that I was wrong. What are you crazy? And this person is not used to that. They were like, wait a minute, you really were wrong. like, but they got so caught up in being right and wanting to control the relationship, second chakra imbalance, because again, they tend to get into codependent relationships. This is why there's only one reason why people protect themselves and don't trust, because they get into codependent relationships that turn toxic, because no one wants to be in a codependent relationship. No one wants to really be dependent on someone financially, and no one really wants to be dependent on someone emotionally and psychologically. It becomes draining because we all are supposed to be our own divine beings. So when we're stepping into our divine person, again, like what allows us to do that is finding our divine counterpart, right? We don't just offer to do it. Love is what makes us step up into it. And what is love? Love is the energy of the universe. Love is the energy of God. It's what connects us to each other. It's fabulous. I want to work things out. Yeah, they're like trying to, I feel like this person is almost like getting excited, like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna, and they keep changing their mind, but about their approach, again, still trying to strategize, still trying to control, but it's in a positive way now, where before it was like, oh, like, I'm not gonna be vulnerable to you. I'm not going to show any feelings. Like, yeah, I was wrong, but I'm not going to apologize. You need to like apologize to me. You're hurting my feelings that you're not coming back to me, that you're making me, stand in my truth, like making man not even stand in their truth, where being accountable, which is their truth, in their real truth. They don't want to. They don't want to feel. They're afraid. I mean, that's what pride actually is when it's out of balance, is because the person's afraid. Friends or family disapprove of this connection. So I believe when a person is in balance, they tend to let other people's opinions get in the way. So I'm feeling like maybe you have a different religion, or you have different beliefs, just or the way that you live your life, that you're more free, that you're again more of a free spirit. And these people are like, again, kept your person sheltered, which is why they have a hard time like coming back and apologizing, why they have a hard time like being vulnerable. So it's like, I do believe that it doesn't really matter, but I think it does worry them, meaning that that's an obstacle, that it's a perceived obstacle that really isn't an obstacle. But we have to say, why hasn't the person healed? And the person has never healed until they were put in a position of realizing, wait a minute, I actually can feel love, that I can't control it. I found something that I could actually make my life better than what it is now. And so, lately I've been getting a lot of readings with, friends and family and people intervening. And I believe we're in spiritual times right now. And that's, again, the war of consciousness, that everyone wants to take your energy. And if you focus on the wrong things in life, it's like and that's a lot of times by giving someone too much of your energy, well, then you abandon yourself. And so the war on consciousness is making sure that you do what you want. And in this situation, being like you standing your truth where no one is should be taking too much of your energy, controlling you, where they're able to influence you. If they're able to influence you, it means that you're not strong within yourself. This person sees that, sees that the way that they were acting was not really mature. I think in the beginning they thought that it's like, no, I'm correct. But when they really thought about it over time, they were like, this really isn't correct. Like, I'm actually the toxic one. And it's because I'm being influenced. So, again, confronting them and really making them look deep within inside themselves, that's what this relationship is doing. It's like, wait a minute, like, you're so different from me. And I resisted that, but I resisted it not because of me, but because of other people, maybe not being accepted anymore into this tribe. And who am I without the tribe? But I don't really connect to that, to those people. And I'm being so prideful. Look at love changes that. I don't know what I want. So I do believe that this person does, again, sometimes their feelings get overridden by, you know, am I going to still have these people? It's like the devil that I know. I believe that, again, stepping into a whole new life is terrifying. And I got a very similar reading, like before, fights, arguments, conflict. They are afraid again of going up against these people. They know either which way they're going to get fights, arguments, and conflict. And there's a sense that they're more afraid of those people than you. It's almost like, I know you love me unconditionally, and I love you unconditionally, but there is a sense of almost like, I can't come in and give you an equal relationship because what is going to happen? Again, it's a foreseen problem, but they're being faced with having to make a choice. And and they know it's gonna create problems. They know that there's no going back. And so there's, of course, they have a lot of anxiety. It was easy to hide behind pride. It was easy for them to say, you need to come to me because then this way I won't have to change. It's like, because I really don't think I can change, is what I'm picking up on. All right, so then let's see. And that maybe it's again, this could be friends, it could be family, it could be work partners, it could be anything that has the power to influence your person. Obviously, people. But people, again, when we don't make enough of our own life, we tend to overgive and lose ourselves. And that's actually really what happened here also. But I also felt like they suppressed their feelings for a while, and through outside things I'm getting at to deal with it. I'm looking for a way out of this situation so I can be free. See, it's again, they're trying to figure out how to break free from these people, which, ironically, I feel like for a long time they thought that life was okay, that they could live that life, believe it or not. And now they're like almost looking at their life like, how could I have lived that life? How can I live that life? But see, once you heal, it's like you can't go backwards, even if you try. That's the problem. This person is almost like, I don't know how to get out, but I know I'm getting out. But I know it's going to create so many fights, so many problems. So, like, my entire life is going to be like in disarray. And I really need to make sure that, you know, you're going to be with me. So I also believe that this person wanted you to overcompensate, like your feelings, meaning like ignore your feelings to give them, to comfort them. And that's a sign that they're a little that they're codependent, that they're needy. I feel our energy merging together as if it has a life of its own. We are becoming one again. So again, the separation, and then I feel like this person was living a life and it was okay, and then they met you, and then they had this connection that they couldn't control. Then they tried to control it, and they mainly tried to control it because of the people that were in their environment. And then what they see is, I can't control it. I don't have control over this, and I really have to lay down my pride. And that's healing, because in doing that, this person had to really look at their life. They had to look at their life. And so what they see is, again, that the love, that you can't separate that love. You can't turn it on, you can't turn it off, you can't do anything. And so they surrendered. And because they surrendered, it's almost like, I feel like the universe is just going to bring us back together again. And this is what keeps happening. It's like, I don't even try. It's like it just keeps happening. And it's because you're always on their mind. They're manifesting you back without realizing that they're manifesting you back, even though they're prideful. It's like the heart is, the heart and the mind is what transcends time and space, many, many, many lifetimes. So this person thinks like a day, a week, a month, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It's again, they can't control it. So they're like, I might as well surrender to it. And they're like, look at this. I surrendered to it. And now, because they don't realize that now they're doing more unconsciously, they're looking for it. What we are experiencing is a part of a larger collective clearing. Don't feel alone, because others are healing too. So it's again that we're living in spiritual times. And so we have to again be true to ourselves at this time. And that's hard to do, because a lot of times being true to ourselves, it's going to disrupt the environment. And this is a story where, like, your person is, for the first time in their life, it feels like is standing up to their environment to be their own person. And so there was a sense of, if they came and apologized to you too, then obviously the relationship would have progressed, and they couldn't really have the relationship progress while are being influenced. Because again, I really feel like your religion is different, your like approach to life is different. It would never go back. And it would never go back also because your person would begin to think like you, act again, because they want to explore life. They want to live their own life. And it would take on its own life force. You're helping this person to be able to do that. That's what soulmates do. That's what the twin flames do. They come into each other's life and they disrupt their life. They turn it upside down. They come in a time of real change to heal what isn't been healed, and that's not a controllable thing. And that's what this person realized. It's like, you're supposed to be in my life, so I can have all this part that I want, but it's killing me. And it's like, so, and what they're realizing is, it's a part of a spiritual thing, and that they might not know that collectively other people that need to step into their truth are going through it also, but the higher self knows. The higher self knows. So we have to say, what are the spiritual wounds that we need to look at? It's like, why do you attract this person into your life? You're a magnet of what comes into your life. And this person, if they are any type of twin flame, in past life karmic mate, that's what it would be. It's either one or the other, but this person's stepping into their truth. So I believe they're stepping into their divine being. And so we have to say, this person's definitely going to trigger the shit out of you, because that's why our twin comes into our life, to awaken the things that need to be healed, the shadows that we have detached from, parts of ourselves that we rejected where spirit says you can't get rid of energy just because you suppressed it and then, created a persona doesn't mean that it's not there. You have them, they have them, everybody has them. But that blocks you from unconditional love, which is me, which is God, which is the universe, which makes you feel as if there's something wrong with you. And it shows within the way that you manifest, either within your finances, within your relationships, within an area of life. Because I am perfect, God says, I am the universe. And I am always in divine order. Everything is always correct, even when you don't feel like it is. So we have to say, well, I don't like when it's correct then because it's bothering me. It's the same karmic theme I'm living in. It's the same situation. I don't want to live this situation. The spirit says then you need to know why. Again, what needs to be healed, and you have to reparent it. It's again because the inner child wound creates shadows, and those shadows, again, what makes us create the persona because we detach from those parts of ourselves. We have to stay, again, staying on voice, right? Voice, speaking our truth, asking for what we need, not allowed to do that. Expression, being an expression of self. I feel like a person definitely has that issue. Definitely we know if they weren't their own person, right? Letting too many people influence them. And again, you're finding yourself as well outdoors in nature. I feel like this is a gift. And it's a gift that you didn't realize that you have. And it's a connection to source because what is outside? The outside is the universe. And when we're outside, it helps us ground, which helps us connect to our physical body and the physical world and all the physical elements of the physical world. And that's through our, again, creating ourselves too is through our voice. We ask for what we need. Through the expression, God created the world with its voice. You too can create the world with your voice through, again, the act of expression. The Spirit's saying, good. A lot of times, if we didn't feel supported, we found our own support. So it's getting back to that because this again, outdoors nature, right? Again, sacred geometry is in everything in the universe. That's again God's language. When we go out there, we're at peace. Where that's and naive to getting back to being a child, right? So a lot of times when we were growing up, we weren't able to be a child, or trauma could keep us so much in being naive. So I want to pull three more, put the story together. Suppression. And growing up in an environment where you weren't allowed to speak your truth, weren't allowed to express yourself, it definitely makes us not feel connected to our physical body. We're up in our heads, we have worry, anxiety. So we would go out into nature, but we wouldn't connect to people. We would still be listening to everybody around us and doing what we felt was safe. And that keeps us naive because we're not learning, we're not growing. Physical touch. And physical touch to me is all about emotional support, right? It's again when you're a child and you're crying, you need to be nurtured, and that's through again the physical touch. So emotions not being respected, not being honored as a child, even when you're a child and you have feelings and they're not being acknowledged, well, then we suppress our feelings and our emotions. We again we're coming from that persona, and that we don't create a world. Because again, our voice. And so again, there is then a disconnect from the physical world. And then it keeps us naive and it kind of keeps us, let's say, dumb, but immature, not emotionally intelligent, not knowing how to, you know, express oneself, not because, again, feeling uncomfortable with vulnerability and other deep emotions. And so we can see why, again, this would need to be integrated, especially pride. You know, this person's afraid to show their feelings, show their emotions, as well as you. You're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. But for you, not getting enough emotional and that comfort, and again, be having to suppress your feelings, not being able to speak your truth. You just, you both channeled it out differently. Same wounds, dealt with it different, manifested different. And that's why they're coming into your life, because they'll understand the way that you'll understand on an intuitive soul level that has a lot of passion, that has a lot of love, that is going to trigger both of you and going to require both of you to lay down your pride as and to be completely like naked within the relationship. It's, really you're bearing your souls to each other. I mean, that's soulmate twin flame relationship. When it becomes balance, it comes into union as one through the transmutation of spiritual wounds. And that's integrating compassion and, again, all the elements of unconditional love, which is the energy of the universe, which is the energy of God, which is the energy of you when you're fully healed. And that's when you're able to really manifest the life and the life experiences that you want to have. So until next time, I will talk to you soon. Now, don't forget, again, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you're going to have to write that word of the in your comment bar. And the word is, I'll talk to you all soon, Virgo. Bye.